let us continue our theme of identifying the graphs that go along with a given equation by looking back at quadratics. These would look familiar. We did a do now a few weeks ago that was kind of a pre-test over this. So now let's use some of these skills that we have. If we use 4 steps, we can identify which graph goes with this equation. And the overall process is how many of these can we eliminate before we have one remaining graph. So let's start from the beginning. We want to identify, does the graph open up or down? We see how there's a -2 in the front. That means our graph has to open down. So we can eliminate C and D. So now we have only 2 of the 4 choices left. Let's go on with the next step. Next, we want to identify the y-intercepts for each graph. For this particular problem, when we look at the graphs, we see that we actually don't have any sort of visual idea of where our y-intercept is. The y-intercept is off of the given picture. So let's go ahead and skip that and go on to step 3. Step 3 asks us to find the vertex of the graph. Now, one of the ways, and the way we're going to use, is to first find the x value using the equation x equals negative b over 2a. For our equation, we would get negative 12 over 2 times negative 2, which equals negative 12 over negative 4. So x equals 3. If we look at the picture, we can see in A that the x value of the vertex is at 3. And same here for B. Let's make some room. So x equals 3. In order to find y, all we have to do is plug this 3 back into our equation. So y equals negative 2 times 3 squared plus 12 times 3 minus 21. So minus 2 times 9 plus 12 times 3 minus 21. Negative 18 plus 36 minus 21. Negative 18 plus 36 will leave me with 18 minus 21, leaving me with minus 3. So in our example here, we want to identify the graph with the vertex 3, negative 3. If we look at A, the y value for our vertex is 1, so we can mark that one out, leaving us with B as our graph. Alright, so let's try this again with number 2. First, we want to look at which direction our graph opens. We see it starts with a positive 2, so our graph opens up, and all 4 of these choices, the graph opens up. So we'll move on to step 2. We want to identify which graphs do not have the appropriate y-intercept. Now, just like when we were working with linear equations, in order to find the y-intercept, we want to go ahead and make our x value 0 and solve. Sorry about that. Alright, so 0 squared is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 4 times 0 is 0, plus 5. So our y-intercept is going to be at 5. We can see from our examples that in A, our y-intercept appears to be at -2, so that'll go away. In B, it appears our y-intercept is at 5, so we'll hold on to that choice. In C, the y-intercept is 7, so we can eliminate that choice. And in D, the y-intercept is -2. So we are left with B as our answer. Alright, so after you already got a little sneak peek, here's the third example. Now go ahead and try it out, pause the video, and then come back and check your answer. Alright, so this one should have been pretty quick. Our first thing we try to find out is what direction does our graph open and eliminate all the ones that don't match. In this example, our graph opens down and choice C is the only graph that opens down, so that is our answer. Here's example 4. Let's try it again. Be sure to pause the video, try it out, and then come back and check your answer. Okay, so we see here in number 4 that it was a -2 for our A value, meaning our graph opens down, so we were able to eliminate B. Then, if I found the y-intercept by making the x 0, I got that the y-intercept was -33. Now, it doesn't look like that would be helpful, but take a look at A. We can see that its y-intercept was down here at the origin. So, for that to be our graph, the y-intercept would have had to have been 0. Since it wasn't, we were able to cross that out as well. The next step is we had to find the vertex. When you find your x value, it's 4, and then you plug it back in, getting a vertex of 4, -1. In C, its vertex is at -4, -1. They tried to trick you there, but we can cross that out, leaving D as our answer.